Yo guys, what's up? It's Tyler D back with Keep Showing Up. Back for part three of the story. So part one, part two, we covered some stuff all the way back. A lot of the stuff was, going through the traumas and the pains and some of the stuff growing up through, that we all go through. We all go through stuff. I just wanted to go back, put a little backstory to where I started and kind of why my mind is wired the way it's wired. We all have things that we go through. You guys, I'm sure, have things that you go through. That was my story, which led to, around the time coming out of high school, made some not so good choices, which led down a dark path, which is kind of where the alcoholism and all that spun out of. So, I know at the end of part two, we kind of brought up to where I had just started wanting to lose some weight, just started working out, and I mentioned this P90X infomercial. It was something that I would be sitting there at night, and a lot of times this infomercial kept coming on for this P90X program, and it was these people, men and women, doing this program at home, getting crazy ripped, crazy results, all this kind of stuff, and I just was like so amazed by it. And there was some of the stories that I connected with, and there was one guy in particular, his story really just kind of hit home with me. His name was Tommy Migrant. So he was one of the guys that I would just repeatedly see on there, and his results were just crazy. I mean, he was built kind of like me, looked a little bit like me, just really connected with me. So, it was one of those things where I kept mentioning to Kelly, it was like, man, this P90X program, I would love to do that, but never pulled the trigger. Never bought it for myself, just kept kind of doing the elliptical and stuff, just talking. And part of that was I didn't believe in myself enough, I guess, to think I could do that. So let's fast forward a little bit more. Christmas of 2009. We're sitting there at my mom's house. I'll never forget this. We're sitting there and I get this Christmas gift from Kelly, and I open it up, and it's this brown box. And then I open the brown box, and inside of that is a white box, and it says P90X on it. And I got really quiet, and I got emotional. Like, before I realized it, I was like almost teared up and stuff. And I didn't realize it at the time, but a couple things happened. Like, what I realized now was she saw something, and she saw a belief in me that I didn't even have in myself. Like, I kept talking about wanting to do it, but never took action on it because I didn't believe in myself that I could, but she did. She did. The other thing that had just happened was she completely changed the path of our lives, our family's lives, forever. With that one choice, with that one gift of P90X, she completely changed my life in ways that just still blow my mind, but it changed her life. It changed the path of our kids and all of our future generations. It's wild. A big reason why P90X worked so well for me was because when I was bigger and stuff, like, I had gym memberships, but I would literally drive there and not get out of my car. And part of it was I was just, as heavy as I was, I hurt and I was embarrassed, straight up. And I think that's why a lot of folks don't want to go to the gym initially. I was in such a bad state of health. I was embarrassed, and not only that, but I didn't know how to work out. So So the thing that connected with me about P90X also was, like, this dude didn't take himself too seriously. Like, before that, I always remember when I was little growing up watching my mom do like the Jane Fonda workouts, and so I just kind of figured everything was all regimented, and that wasn't me. But this Tony Horton dude was kind of a goofball, kind of just a normal dude, and that's kind of how I looked at it. So man, everything changed. The crazy thing was, it still wasn't. I tried 2 times. I started, got about 2 or 3 weeks into it, and then life got rough, life got busy, and I quit. So that happened for, a couple times. So got it for the end of Christmas 2009, and it was probably around the second quarter into 2010, if I remember right, when, like, I was at work and things were crazy and it was a Monday and I was down on myself and I was like, man, I keep giving up, I keep quitting. And I remember deciding like, man, I'm gonna go home tonight. I'm gonna start back on chest and back, day one. And I decided I'm gonna start and I am never gonna quit. I'm never gonna quit again. I don't care how hard it gets, I'm just gonna keep showing up. I'm just gonna keep pressing play. That's something that Beachbody always says. Keep pressing play, keep showing up, keep pressing play. And I was like, I'm gonna keep showing up and pressing play. And that's where the keep showing up came in, man, just repeating that in my head every day. And I did. I went home that night after work. It was a Monday night, did chest and back, got up the next morning. It was Tuesday, did plyometrics, and I did P90X for 9 months straight. Like straight up. And to this day, which has been, 11 years now, I still use it. Still use it. It still works. It's still legit. I do a ton of other stuff too, but after 9 months of it, and I have progress pictures of, kind of where I was starting and just the changes in my body. And it wasn't until like about the middle of the second round, I started really noticing some results. One of the things that she always said with me that stuck with me, a big part of P90X is pull-ups. To this day, they haunt me. But Kelly and I were watching a movie one time and there was this scene, I think it might have been Batman or something like that. Dude was hanging off of the side of a building and she looked at me and she was like, man, that sucks, doesn't it? And I was like, what? She's like, if that was you, you would die. You couldn't pull yourself up on that building. And I just remember being like, damn, she's right. I couldn't. It does suck. So ever since then, still to this day when I look up at the pull-up bar before I'm about to do a set, I think about that and I attack pull-ups. I despise them, but man, I make them a part of my routine all the time and I still think back to that. So it's crazy. Fast forward a little bit, I did it 9 months straight, started incorporating Insanity, which was, another big flagship program by Beachbody. Started drinking Shakeology. Shakeology is the meal replacement stuff. I wasn't a breakfast eater. So as I was doing P90X, I took that nutrition guide and I studied it because not only did I not know how to work out when I started, I didn't know how to eat. I didn't know about macros. I didn't know any of that stuff. So I literally was the guy that would go to the grocery store with the P90X nutrition guide in my hand and I would read labels and I would study and I would connect the dots and fill in the blanks of, in the beginning I had to lower carbs but get more protein and all this stuff. And I was committed, man. Finally was committed. So I just kept doing it, kept showing up and it worked. And then Beachbody has this contest once a year. And I entered this, the Beachbody Challenge. And what it is one man, one woman, once a year, they give away $100,000 to them. And then they also have a separate category, or at least they used to back then, that was for like health transformations. So I just started, I was already doing transformation pictures, my before and afters, and I'll share some of those here. And I would always ask Kelly to go down and take the pictures. And then I started, she was like, you should enter this challenge. You got to do it. So I did. And I started entering, and I remember me and her were down there doing these pictures, and this was a good 9-10 months after I had started P90X and really had gotten some results. And I remember her snapping this one picture. We're down in the basement of the old house in this little spot. That was all I had, little spot. There was only one place that was tall enough that I could raise my arms up over my head. That's all I needed. And I remember she took the picture and she was like, yep, that's the one. That's the one. So I found a before picture of me and her when we lived in Florida when I was bigger. And then that picture. And then I just told my story and I told them about how P90X helped me overcome being scared to go. It taught me how to work out because I was scared to go to the gym, so doing it at home. And then Shakeology being a game changer because that became my breakfast because breakfast is so important. And I wasn't ever hungry, but I could drink a shake and it tastes good. So that was a huge, huge help. And I'll do another video about Shakeology, man. I still drink it to this day, so does Kelly. But man, I'm just, kind of pouring my heart out because the crazy thing is P90X helped me deal with so many emotions too, because once I was physically working out and going through this, man, like it taught me so much how to overcome my alcoholism, because it taught me discipline and it taught me how to be strong in a different way. And I've even told Kelly, like I remember I would be in the middle of my workout and I'd start getting emotional and tear up and stuff. And like, yes, it physically hurt, but it was because I was uncovering all those skeletons and all that stuff that I had buried and stuffed down for so long. It was all being dealt with, because like my hour workout, my time became my therapy. It was a time that I got to be alone in my own head and deal with things. And in the beginning, it straight sucked. Like push-ups, part of why I quit the first 2 times is because I could only do like 5 push-ups. But I just made a decision. I was like, I'm gonna do my 5 push-ups and then I'm gonna go down on my knees and I'm gonna do 5 more. Every set. Pretty soon, 5 turned into 6. 6 turned into 7, then 10, then 20, then 30, then 40. And now I do sets of 50. Like, it's just, that's the number. I don't really need to go any higher than that. I mean, at that point, like, come on, dog. And same thing for pull-ups. In the beginning, I had to use a chair. You put one foot on the chair, use it to help you. That was before they had like extra pull-up straps and all that stuff, you know, but just stuck with it. So I finished the transformation, let them know how important Shakeology and P90X was to helping me overcome alcohol and drugs and all this stuff. And it just had really created a positive path for my life and taught me so many things about discipline and showing up. And pretty soon, I believe it was March 2011, if I remember accurately, which it's been a long time and I did a lot of drugs, so I could be a little off. I think it was March, I won the monthly prize. Like, won $1,000. And it was amazing just by sharing my story with others, and people responded to it and connected with it. And pretty soon they had a quarterly contest. I won the quarterly contest. Like, holy crap. Like, okay, so we keep going in public votes, and a lot of it was through Facebook and stuff like that. And long story short, we made it to the end of the year. The finals are here, and I'm entered into it. And I will never forget my phone ringing, and it was a 310 area code. And I answered the phone, and they were like, "Hey, it's Beachbody. Just wanted to give you a shout real quick. Wanted to thank you so much for entering the contest and everything. And also wanted to let you know you just won $25,000 for the Health Transformation Challenge for the year." And like, I couldn't believe it. Like, straight up, for real, no bullshit. Yeah. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. I'll never forget it. It was, I mean, for it to go from a Christmas gift to something full circle like that. I mean, yes, $25,000 is amazing, but they flew me and Kelly out to Vegas. Like, me and her never had nothing like that. We get up off the airplane and we're walking through, and there's a chauffeur like with a card like for Davis, and picked us up in an Escalade and drove us to the MGM Grand and gave us money to spend. And it was just such a blessing, man. And there was so many people that along that way. Tommy Migrant, who I mentioned, took me under his wing. I got to meet him in person in Columbus, Ohio for the first time. Man, he allowed me the opportunity to make a theme song for our team for Beachbody, because he knew I made music. You know, Greg Bird, Stacey Hanna, so many different people. I could go on and on. So much of the Beachbody community who became like family to me, and I still am connected with them to this day. Like, me and Kelly, I went to the Beachbody thing, and we always run into friends that we see there, and you know, we set with them and catch back up, and it's just, it changed our whole life, and it's amazing. And Kelly and I are both Beachbody coaches, and we drink Shakeology, we talk about it, we share about it. People work with us, you know, it ain't even about making money. It's about inspiring people to keep showing up for themselves, because we saw the power of what it can do for us. You know, now, yes, I'm a coach at Triumph, and I teach people classes in person, but so much of it comes back to what I've learned along the way with Beachbody, where P90X is where it started. Still use it. Insanity, still use it. Body Beast, still use it. So many others. They got all kinds of stuff. So if you're anybody at that starting point and don't want to go to a gym yet, don't want to come to a place like Triumph and party with us, Beachbody's a great option. It changed my whole life. And now I'm about to show you something. I got a couple things that to this day I use. A big part of P90X that I refused to use the first couple times, and then finally I listened, dude, there's workout sheets that you write down. Okay, I did this many reps on this day, and you keep track of it. Well, eventually that got ingrained to me, the importance of it. And something that I still use to this day is this crazy thing. It is ratted up, it is matted. It used to be hung on a wall, but this is calendar sheets that go back. And I don't know if you can see this, but this is workout after workout after workout, whatever days off were taken. This is every day to present day, all the way back to October 2nd of 2011, which is when I started doing the calendar sheets. So I don't know if you can see that. It was a Sunday, October 2nd, 2011. It was Tony Horton one-on-one bun shaper, straight up. Work that booty. But every day since then, until present day, which today is April 30th, 2021. Every day. How do you keep showing up? You track it. Every damn day. Every damn day you keep showing up. That's how thick it is. And I don't plan on stopping this because it's that important. And along with this, so for every one of these days, there is a corresponding sheet. Look at this madness. Look at this folder. So every one of these pages, look, yep, dropping stuff. That's how crazy this is, but it's the only way to continue to show up. Every one of these is a corresponding sheet that relates to one day on those workouts. And you fill it up, and you print out a new one, and you do it again. And that's how you keep showing up. You don't make excuses about it. You figure out what you gotta do, and then you just do it. And then you keep showing up every day. Just keep showing up. I know I say it like a broken record, but that's how it's been in my mind all these years, and that's why it's so important to me, and that's what it means. But not only does it apply to our fitness, because I know that's a big part of what this portion of the story is, but it shows up to life. It shows up to your family. It shows up to your faith. It shows up to your career. I'm also a mortgage lender with Cross Country Mortgage here. Shout out, shameless plug, whatever. But man, I show up for my clients and my agent partners every single day. I keep showing up. This mindset that has taught me through all of this stuff. That's what it's about. That's what you gotta do. You gotta make a choice. You gotta make a decision. One choice, one decision, one thing. Just like that, you can change the trajectory of your whole life. I don't know if I said that word right, but you know what I'm saying. You can change just like that. And no, it ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard as hell. There's gonna be days where it's just gonna downright be miserable, but you know what? You're gonna show up and you're gonna do it anyway. That's what it's all about. So that's how you gotta do it, man. That's the story. So that's where we're at today. I know a lot of that was condensed into it, but on those sheets I showed you guys, my journey started way back when. It started with a lot of pain, a lot of darkness. But the thing I've come to understand now is I have a mentor and a coach in my own life for something I'm going through. And a powerful statement that he made was, you find the light in the night. Which to me thinks of something that has been really important to me. I used to have it painted on my wall in high school. Is yin yang. Yin yang, yin, whatever you want to call it. Yin and yang. The black and the white. The dark, the light. The positive, the negative. The thing about that symbol that's so powerful is they are two very different things. But inside of those very different things is a smaller portion of the opposite. You can't have one without the other. Positive and negative, yin and yang. You can't find the light without having first gone through the night. So what I understand now is all of the things I went through, all the pains, all of the hurts, all of the trauma I put myself through, which was a lot of it doing myself, the addiction, the darkness, the alcoholism, that makes me appreciate the amazing blessing that every single day is. To this day, today, every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do before I let my feet hit the floor is I put my hands together and I say thank you for another day. Because there was a time when I almost ended my whole life. So I wouldn't have had this day. I wouldn't have had the day before. I wouldn't have tomorrow if I'm blessed enough to have it. Keep showing up. Let it sink in for a second. What's it mean to you? What could your life be like if you would make the decision right now that you're going to keep showing up? In whatever area of your life that you're currently maybe struggling with, whatever season you're in, if you decided that you burnt the boat, there's no way to go backwards. Forward is it. You're going to keep showing up. What could your life be? What could you be? Who could you be? Who could you be for your family? Who could you be to share your faith? What amazing gifts and talents do you have that are unique to you, that God blessed you and only you with? Do you want to take those with you? It's not what He gave them to you for. He bestowed those upon you to share with the world, to share with others, to shine your light. The only way you can do that is if you make a choice to keep showing up. I once looked at the word addiction as a negative thing. Another thing that my coach has got me to understand is addiction and obsession are very similar. Most successful people that accomplish great things are obsessed. They're obsessed with the process. It's not as much the outcome, it's the process. Fall in love with the process. Keep showing up is about falling in love with the daily grind, the daily process. That's what it takes. Even 1% of forward momentum. That's still a win. It's still a victory every single day. You have it inside of you. I promise you, as cliche as it might sound, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Just make the choice. Just decide right now that you're going to keep showing up. Friends, truly love you guys. I look forward to seeing some of the comments in here. I look forward to hearing some of the ways that you have decided you're going to keep showing up. That's the end of the story. So, there was ups, there was downs, there was all in between. But this is where we're at. So, as I mentioned before, it's April 30th, 2021. Eventually, I'm going to share a part 4, but we got some years to cover. I ain't done writing my story. My journey is going to continue. I'm going to keep showing up. And I look forward to keep showing up with you. Take care of yourself. Remember, you're blessed. Peace.